I just don't see anything better in a sense. Like what a female exudes, what a female portrays, the sensuality like of a woman's figure, of just like something about the feminism of a woman and like what it can affect, you know, as far as like your mood, as far as like not like a man, like I could paint a man and you know, people will be like, oh, that's, you know, depending on, but then there's something about a woman that's very captivating. And I like to try to capture those emotions because they're very in tune with their emotions, and you can see that within the painting, within the photography, within the picture. I started out with acrylic 2 years ago, like a year and a half ago, and I read this book called The Artist's Way by Julianne Michaels, and that book kind of opened me up as far as like my creativity goes, and like started, because I had myself in a box. I think a lot of artists put themselves in a box when it comes down to like what they can do or what they think they can do, and they find one thing that works and then they just use that, stick with that, and that's all it was, like charcoal and graphite. That's what I started out with. But then after reading that book, I like it got me to get outside of my comfort zone, and then I found oil painting. And a friend of mine named Haley, actually, like, she was like, why don't you just try oil? I think because you like blending, you like the way it works. And after that, I just fell in love with it. For me, action is what turns into motivation. You know, motivation is something that you generate. It's not something that you can get. You know, it's not something you can be like, okay, I'm gonna be motivated in half an hour. You know, you start working automatically, even when you don't feel like it. You know, even, you know, because a lot of times we'll talk ourselves out of doing something, or, you know, we'll give ourselves permission to slack off or something like that. But with art, even if it is your passion, you know, like if it's something that you do, it's also work. People forget that, you know, just because a person is an artist and they're a full-time artist, they think that, oh, you just do what you love, it's your passion, so it's always fun. You know, that's not necessarily the case. It's still work. And so you have to be able to sit yourself down and be disciplined enough, because just like anybody with a 9 to 5, you know, you still have to be able to produce and sit yourself down for a mass of like 10 to 15 hours sometimes, even if you have to, and just work. And it makes it easier because it is your passion and because you do love it, but it's still something that I just tell myself I'm going to do something and I do it. I don't give myself permission to slack. And because I actually do, when I don't do it, I miss it. You know, I don't know what I would be doing if I wasn't painting. So
is this therapeutic for you?
It's definitely therapeutic for me, because it allows you to be present. It allows you to not think about anything and just really be in the moment with what you're creating. And I used to judge what I did while I was doing it. I think a lot of artists do that too, like being in their own head, like, oh, you know, but I've learned to never judge a painting, especially in the process of it, you know, no matter what. Whatever art, I always tell myself, like, it's always creating, it's always happening exactly the way it's supposed to be. We always get upset when something is outside of what we think it's supposed to be, instead of embracing it is as what it is. And so I always tell myself, even if I mess up on a stroke or whatever, I'm like, it's always meant to be, so just enjoy it. And I've learned to more about myself through painting. I have the things that ground me. Like for me, my thing is my body, mind, and soul. So as long as I have those three things down each day, I know I'm good. And for body, you know, I work out, I exercise daily, so that's something I never let up, you know, unless it's like a rest day or something like that. And for my mind, I meditate, I pray, I have, you know, like this daily scripture that I read every day, and that's how I kind of start my day, with that. And that's kind of works on my soul as well. And the things that I love the most, how I see myself as an artist and as an actor and somebody that's like a curator, and those are the main things that how I visualize myself and like the best version of myself. That those are the two things that I see myself doing. You know, like just deep in the arts in every way possible, because I don't think there's any limits. I feel like this is kind of like a Renaissance age where you can literally learn anything you want. You know, all you have to do is just put forth the effort. And so I block off periods of time, like for a specific week or a specific day. I'll understand, because I have a journal and I always write down exactly what my goals are, what I'm trying to accomplish. And through finding out and seeing the bigger picture of what I'm trying to accomplish within a month, I block off like specific days or specific week or something like that, and tell myself, this is what I'm going to do this week. And I stick to that. And if like my goal is always to complete at least 3 to 4 paintings a month, And so I make sure I put in like a little bit of time, and I understand that for me, I find out where in the day is the best time where I can be productive. And so for me, a lot of that time is in the morning because I haven't had a regular job or a 9 to 5 within like 2 years, you know? So with that, you learn a lot about yourself, you learn a lot about your time, and you learn a lot about how to manage your time, or you're lost, like 100% lost. And so, yeah, through that, I've been able to find out. I feel like my purpose is to become an awareness enhancer, because I feel like there's a lot of things that we as human beings aren't aware of due to so many distractions, especially being here in LA. And being from LA, I think a lot of people that are from LA, they look at LA, they look at the world, and they think that, oh, this is life. You know, like, this is how this is how it is, you know, like everywhere. And it's not true. You know, it's so different in so many different places of the world. And so I feel like I'm finding out my purpose every single day, because what you focus on expands, and me finding out my purpose and taking little steps each day to become who I believe that I am, and having the effect that I want to do and create, is leading me every single day, every single step, because we're all in the progress of, process of progression. And so with that, I'm just very present and very aware of what I'm trying to do and what I feel like my mission is. And I feel like I'm using my talents to be able to find a way to affect the mass amount of people that I want to be able to do in a positive way.